following the 4-1 victory over Kansas City. The 17th win beats out LAFC's 2018 record for most wins by an expansion team. And we're one shy of tying LAFC's record for most points in the season. Coach, we're kick it off with an opening statement followed by questions.
Thanks, John. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Yeah, we started this journey, nearly 2 years ago to get to this moment. And I think there's been a lot of work behind the scenes. And to get a game, with this opponent, with so much on the line, what it means to the fans, what it means to everybody here individually, personally, whatever their go-to is, whatever their motivations are to get it to this point. Just extremely proud of the group. And to call that spot our own, we can't buy anything with it. We can't celebrate anything with it. There's no silverware with it. But yeah, it's there, right? And for that I'm proud of. But that should just give us more motivation. And the players are really upset. If you go in there, it's quiet because they know they don't want to concede late goals. They know everyone who comes in has great amounts of energy. We make game-changing, substitutions or what have you, and we bring a new set of energy, right? So unfortunately, the boys are still a little bit disappointed with that end of the last minute there. So again, incredibly proud of these guys, and I don't think we want to stop anytime soon.
Thanks, Coach. We'll first go to Santiago.
Bradley, can you hear me?
Santi, I can.
Okay. Congratulations on the win. Bradley, early in the week, you talked about games at this stage of the season being tight games, small margins, and the game goes scoreless at the half. What was the message from the team at halftime?
Yeah, the message was to be a little bit patient, right? So even in our press, we got a little stretched at a few times, and we made a few tweaks, and then with the changes, we changed the system as well. So I thought we had a lot more impact with the sort of fresh legs and the system changed. But yeah, again, we had to manage the rhythm of the game. You could see there was getting an edginess to it with Sam's tackle, and then all of a sudden Anthony's on a yellow card. So we just had to manage the game and get to that point. And then we could see obviously Roman comes up with two big saves. I think Tamilia had a great day between the goals as well. And yes, these moments change games. And fortunately today, we got the first one, and we know when we get the first one, it could be a flood, in terms of City Park atmosphere and what it does and what it does to the opponent. So 4 goals in 12 minutes, I believe, was some finish. And like I said, just a bit gutted about the final goal that we let in.
Go to Tom Timmerman.
Brad, what were the first 3 goals? When you think about that 7-minute span going from Sam's goal to Jared's to Klauss's, and it just kept building and building. What did that feel like out there as that just kept coming?
Yeah, you could just see in transition, we picked up certain spots, right? So Sporting KC weren't able to go back around again and reset their play. So with the 2 strikers that we put out there, it helped us get more pressure on the ball. It helped guys defend forwards. It helped us connect to the back, So there were just a lot of things there that I thought that the players did right. It's not easy to adapt systems in game, and it's not easy to have that effect. But yeah, we trust the process, and I think the guys have had multiple reps. I think, we've always been brave with our substitutions, and there's been some growing moments too. So, obviously I'll harp on the goal that we concede, but we get it to a point where, it almost, I'm just so happy to be on the sidelines when it goes that way, because it's like almost falls into place exactly how you thought it could go, and it did go. But now credit to the players for being disciplined enough to get to those spots and making sure that they stick to their principles. And again, transition's our first weapon. I thought we had way too much of the ball in the first half. So second half, we started running the line more. We started counter-pressing more. We started playing vertical in transition more. We started being brave. And then good things happen, I believe, in our system. And I think we displayed that.
And the crowd just keeps going nutser and nutser.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Julian?
Coach, because you obviously have so many good options off the bench, it's probably not easy to choose someone specifically, but what stood out about Stroud, or what in the moment made you think that he was the man to bring in at that time, because he made such a big difference? Yeah,
I just knew we needed, to get, you could see Ndembe is a real quality going forwards, and is a real sort of injection in their final third play, right? So that's always difficult to track if and I just saw we were getting tired in the 10s with AZ and Indy. So, strategically, obviously Jared, he normally plays down the left side. we call those three guys interior 10s. But yeah, we needed to get pressure on Ndembe. And I thought with a change of system, I thought with the energy that Jared brought, and he was brave. He took a few risks in the pressing moment. And if you read the timing of the pass right, if you read the connection, if you see the pressure from, Sam and Klauss, and then you can get on the jump. Joe Keeney played a massive role in that too. I thought, I've always told, the three strikers, I had a meeting with them early in the week, and I said, one of you are going to play, two of you are going to play. I'm not sure if all three of you are going to play, but I'll do my best, to try and get them on the field. And I think you could see, I'm trying to make everyone happy. I'm trying to give everyone minutes that I can. But to see the response like that is incredibly humbling.
Justin?
Coach, João Klauss has been very open about his confidence level coming back from injury. He scores two tonight. That second goal was especially special. What do you kind of think of his confidence and where, like I said, continuing off your strikers, just how beneficial?
Yeah, I mean, strikers ooze. When they're when they're in the groove, they're difficult to stop. But what you'll notice about Klauss, he's the first one to get his head down and recover. He's the first one to help out in the defense. He's the first one to point fingers at his friends and get them all together and get them re-energized. And he brings a lot of energy, and he holds a lot of people accountable, right? So myself as well. So he's always, we're all on our toes because we just want him. Klauss is a winner by nature. You can just see he breathes and his heart beats for points, and goals. I even said to him, Klauss, do you want to come off? You want to go for three, or do you want to come off? He says, no, coach, it's okay. You can decide, So we made a choice, and, we kept the birthday boy Sam on the field, and that's what it was, right? So, but he's a good teammate as well. So, he gives the best hugs every morning on the breakfast room to everybody. So, we love Klauss around here.
Go to Tom Schwartz.
Coach, what's it feel like? You're watching the game, you're thinking, okay, if I make these changes, this might happen. Then you make those changes, and I'm guessing that's what happened. What's that feel like?
Yeah, I mean, again, you just want to give guys opportunities. You want to feel the right moment. You have to feel what the game needs. And I think that's part of my learning process as well as a rookie coach, right? So just leading myself down my individual development plan, and when to do what and how to do it, right? So, yeah, I feel pretty confident, and I've always been brave to make changes, and I've always, held my head up there to say if I got it right or I got it wrong. So, and sometimes I do both. You get it right and you get it wrong, and I'm fine with that because we learn and we grow and we go next week again. So, totally fine with it. But yeah, it's a great feeling when you know that you've got a team to a certain point, and then you can feel a sense of energy, and then the complexion of the game change, and then we score. It's a great feeling for sure.
Coach, a lot of players are contributing. Anthony Marcanic, as a young player, has really been contributing and battling. What does that do for the rest of the club when a young guy is sticking to the principles like he does?
Well, normally young guys, they're brave, right? They, they're saying once bitten, twice shy. Anthony hasn't been bitten yet, right? So he's just playing brave on the front foot, sticking to the principles because he's got a point to prove. He came from a club where he wasn't playing, and now he's playing at the top team in the West, and he's playing, right? So, and not just playing, contributing. So, we're guiding him along this, and, we said at halftime, just watch, keep your nerve, play, suffer with a smile, I said to him, so enjoy this game, but keep your head on your shoulders. So, and he's done a great job with that too. So he managed the game in the second half really well.
Bradley, you can't point to many spots in the season where you guys maybe had lulls, but if there was a mini one, it was maybe before the first time you guys played Sporting KC. What did the rivalry do for your team? What has it done for this season? Has it been an important chapter in it?
I think it's something budding, something, I said it after the first game, something needs to grow, and you can't just create a rivalry all of a sudden, right? So there needs experiences, there needs results, there needs edgy moments, and I think each game has had critical moments or edgy moments to create tension. And that's what a rivalry is about, and then if you see the way that our fans went to Sporting, wow, that was incredible, right? So dominating that stadium, and then doing it again tonight. And again, just setting an imprint. Like Sam's tackle, was a kind of catalyst for our second half performance, right? So just before the half, he makes that tackle, we go in, everyone's got a different buzz, a different energy, and that was great. That's what we needed. We live and die by those principles of being aggressive, but fair. And I think that's what we were today. But yeah, no, for sure, these moments help us. For sure, there's something on the line. We said to the players, whatever's your why, whether it's the fans, whether it's, individual, family, and what have you, just keep a moment for this, what's going on around here. And this is something to I think to cherish for a long time.
Can that help in a playoff setting to have games that feel like this?
100%. 100%. And if you've felt now, we've played 3 times Sporting KC, it could have been that they could have been in the playoff spots tonight if we had lost that game, right? And then we could have had them 6 times potentially this season, right? And we didn't want that. We didn't want that because, it's just sometimes it's not easy playing against the same team 6 times in a season, understandably so. But again, credit to our boys for, resetting and applying the principles and being aggressive from the go.
Go to Daniel.
Coach, you don't get here without preparation and without being in the moment. We've talked about making history throughout the season. Now that you've made history of this significance, potentially becoming the first seed, and then obviously with the win total, when you reflect on that as far as your career is concerned, where does that rank?
Yeah, listen, I think I've always been able to be pretty even-keeled, and one of the wisest words when I came to this league, never get too high, never get too low, because there's going to be bad moments, there's going to be great moments, and as a coach, whether it's, at my University of Johannesburg, winning, some mini silverware there, I would say, nothing to write home about, but these are growing steps in a pathway, right? And the coaching's never been about me. It's never been about what I want and what I want to achieve. For sure I'm hungry, and for sure I can swim in deep waters and adapt and evolve and get better and drive myself to high standards, but it's about the people around me. If I can see people grow around me, and if I see how the squad's developed and grown, and everybody, whether their values and all these types of transfer values and what have you, if they've just if they get new contracts, or if they get just one step better every day, that's gratification for me. I'm really grateful for these moments to help kids and to help young men develop into young men and better players and people around me. So if I can make an impact like that, then that's all worth it for me.
And any plans for Sunday night, maybe with the team?
Not as yet. We'll just have to see. Obviously we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Again, you can check these boxes now. You can check a few things off the list, but we want to keep on going now. We need a couple more points to make 58 points, I believe, to make it all of our own, because 17 and not 58 points, is it the best expansion year? I'm not sure. But again, we're just trying to get, the next 3 points, and that Vancouver comes around pretty quickly.
Coach, congratulations for the win.
Thanks, Mamadou.
But we've seen a very balanced or difficult first half. Kansas had clear-cut chances they could score, and it ended up not halftime.
Yeah.
What did you tell the players during halftime for them to come completely looking like a different team and dominating the entire game?
I think both teams had good chances in the first half. I think Anthony Marcanic, the cross across the face of goal with Klauss with the tap in, that was a massive chance for us. I think both goalkeepers had a good game. But again, it was just to get a few details right. We had to look at some film in the halftime. But again, we changed the shape, we changed the structure. We get a little bit more aggressive in our press, a little bit more proactive in the forward defending moments. But Mamadou, it's the first time in the stadium here. But you've seen when we score the first goal, it's tough for us to contain us here at home, right? So, and we just had to remain disciplined. I told the boys, be patient, it'll come. So, happy the patience paid off, and happy we could take a stranglehold on the game and tighten the screws when we did. And 4 goals in 12 minutes is excellent.
We'll go to Matt Rocchio and then finish off the top 6.
Coach, you had back in the LAFC game, same 4 midfielders, but you deployed them a little differently. What was the plan and the thought process behind switching Leuven back into the middle and then kicking AZ out to the far left?
Yeah, that was a short-term solution. Doing that, I just thought that we lost a bit of shape with Eric, Tommy, and Gutierrez. Our sixes were over-connecting, and then if they broke that, then they were just free on the weak side. So Eric Tommy's a good player. He finds pockets of space. So, I just thought we'll get Edu in the 10 when we went to the diamond, and we had AZ just shooting out to the fullback in that deeper 8 role. So that was the thinking behind it, to give Edu a little bit more freedom, because we know he has certain qualities on the ball, and just thought maybe in the transition AZ could get the ball a little deeper and then find Edu. So it was the catalyst, it was the start to making those other changes that came on.
And that's what I was going to ask about the subs. You kind of then Edu gets back out on the left side,
exactly,
and Nico takes over at the 10. So what do you think that going back to that diamond and Nico being at the 10, Edu being back outside, how do you think that changed the
listen, it's a tough role to play, the 8. And if you're all out pressing, it's long distances to go, long distances to recover. So, we try and be strategic in how we deploy that press and when we deploy it. So, again, Edu actually sometimes gets better as the game goes on, and he starts covering more ground in the second half. So, we know he can cover tons of ground. And he's a weapon in our transitional game and final third possession progression. You know what I mean? Just getting into the final third, he's dangerous with us. So, he has the ability to connect that next pass, and usually in those 8 pockets, you find a bit more time and space.
We'll wrap up with Tom.
12 of your last 16 goals have been in the 70th minute or later. What does that say about this team, and what does that say? How do you feel when you get to that stage of the game?
Yeah, listen, I mean, for sure we play to win games, and before the last 3 away draws, I think our record showed that, with only 2 ties across 28 games or something. So we play to win games, whether it's to score in the first minute, but we always know it's a race to the first goal, and that's how we play. So more often than not, we've been on the goal-scoring side, and we've also conceded late as well. So these are always moments for us with a young team, with a first-year team, first-year coach. Like, these are all growing moments for all of us, and we'll definitely analyze throughout. Like, every week we have a look, why, how, go back again, try, and then we develop like that and grow and see where it takes us next week. But if we can score 1 more than the opponent, it's 3 more points.
Do you feel like you're wearing teams down though as games go on?
Yeah, I think we have an intense style of play, right? So, and if we can maintain that intensity and not fall into the trap or get lured into the lull of being in a game where it's slow, because then it's comfortable. Then, I could still play it and do that, right? So we want to try and do something different. We want to proactively win the ball. We want to be aggressive in our principles. So, we don't want our players to fall into that trap of complacency. So that's why I don't have a voice usually after 90 minutes. And,
Coach, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.